pupils, parents, and guardians. Let me start by thanking you for being a part of all our remote learning platforms, particularly our television program, The Classroom in Your Home. Each feedback has been awesome. Good job, you. Our teachers have been working assiduously to bridge the learning loss during this critical period. Therefore, I am pleased to inform you that the Classroom in Your Home has been extended to accommodate the lower primary classes and a dedicated lesson to cater for our special needs pupils in line with our mandate of providing an all-inclusive and quality basic education in our dear state. This program is fully sponsored by the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, and supported by the Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board under the COVID-19 Blended Learning Intervention Initiative. Please encourage your wards to tune in and take every advantage of this laudable program. Also remember, this pandemic is not over. Let us continue to abide by all health and safety guidelines as stipulated by the government. At LASUBEB, we are determined to leave no child behind in our quest to improve the standard of basic education in our state. Thank you.
Hello pupils, you are welcome to another wonderful edition of your favorite program, The Classroom in Your Home. A program sponsored by the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, and packaged by the Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board, LASUBEB. It is to ensure that you are academically engaged, whether you are in school or not. I am Auntie Fumi, your English Studies teacher, and I am not here alone. I have with me your wonderful teachers, the mathematician, Uncle Agbaje.
Hello, children.
That's your maths teacher.
Are you ready to learn today?
Of course they are. And your popular teacher, Uncle Popo.
Hello, puppies.
He'll be taking you through all the subjects under general studies. And we also have our sign language interpreter in the house, Uncle Niyi. Together, we are bringing the classroom into your home. Stay tuned. In our English studies lesson today, we will look at adverbs. Yes, adverbs. If you can recall very well, we've looked at noun, adjective, verbs, and today we are going into adverbs. Are you ready? Please pick up your writing materials and let's learn. But before we go into the lesson, let's have the correction to the previous homework. The homework you were given states that you should change into active voice and you should change some other sentences into the passive voice. Did you do your homework at all? I trust you. You are amazing children. Let's look at the corrections. Number 1, beans was eaten by Kunle. It becomes Kunle ate beans. Did you get that right? I trust you. Number 2, bread is sold by Bola. The answer is Bola sells bread. Did you get the 2? Then mark. You are wonderful. Number 3 to 5 says you should change to passive voice. Obi's father is beating him. Obi's father is beating him. It becomes Obi is being beaten by his father. Did you write that too? I trust you. Number 4, Stella will not attend the party. Stella will not attend the party. It becomes the party will not be attended by Stella. And the last one, the bus carries 30 passengers. The bus carries 30 passengers. It becomes 30 passengers are carried by the bus. Did you get the 5 correctly? then I need to celebrate you with a cheer. Well done. Now to the learning objective for today. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to define adverbs. Don't forget that it's our focus for today. You should be able to define adverbs. Not only that, you should list types of adverbs and identify them in sentences. Are you ready? Yes, it's a new topic and you must sit up and be ready to learn. Adverbs. Adverbs. A-D-V-E-R-B-S. Adverbs. What are adverbs? Adverbs are words used to tell more about verbs. Don't forget, verbs are action words. They are words that shows what is going on or what is being done. Action words. So, adverbs are words used to tell more about verbs. They tell how, when, where, why, how, often, to what degree, and on what condition an action takes place. Let me take that again. Adverbs tell how, when, where, why, how, or how often, to what degree, and on what condition an action takes place. These are the things that adverbs address. Adverbs are normally put after the verb. Note that. Adverbs are normally put after the verb. Sometimes, however, they are put before the verb. At times, adverbs come after the verb, and at times, it comes before the verb. It depends on the sentence or the sentences. Most adverbs, another thing about adverbs is that most adverbs end in ly. Did you get that? Most adverbs, not all, most of them end in ly. You have words like quickly, happily, sadly, slowly, and so on and so forth. Most adverbs end in ly. There are other adverbs which do not end in ly. You know, I said most, not all. So there are some that do not end in ly. For example, often. You don't have anything like oftenly. No, often, there, sometimes, well. They don't end in ly. Now let's look at the types of adverbs that we have. Types of adverbs. The first one is adverb of manner. Adverb of manner. This shows how an action is done. How is that action done? Or how was it done? That is adverb of manner. It shows how an action is done. Examples are slowly, she ate slowly, quickly, sorrowfully, badly, well, merrily, hard, fast, and so on. Shows how an action is done. That is talking about adverb of manner. Look at this example. He speaks English well. He speaks English well. Well there is the adverb of manner because it shows how he speaks English. Having looked at adverb of manner, we want to go to another type of adverb, which is the adverb of time. Adverb of time. This shows when an action takes place. Adverb of time shows when an action takes place. That is talking about time, when an action takes place. You have examples like yesterday, today, tomorrow, already, soon, late, early, never, yet, before, now, ago, since, then, and after. Those are examples of adverb of time. Look at this example. He traveled yesterday. He traveled yesterday. When did he travel? He traveled yesterday. That is talking about time. Adverb of time. He has already eaten the food. He has already eaten the food. This shows that it has been completed. He has eaten the food already. When did you eat it? He had eaten already. So that's another example of adverb of time. The third type is the adverb of place. Adverb of place. This tells where. Everybody say where. Where, good. It tells where an action takes place. That is adverb of place. It talks or tells us where an action takes place. That is talking about the location. Examples are there, out, away, here, in, above, outside, inside, everywhere, elsewhere, nowhere, somewhere, and anywhere. Look at the sentence. I saw him there. Where did you see him? I saw him there. So there is the adverb of place in the sentence. Another example or another sentence is they went out. Where did they go? They went out. That out is the adverb of place in the sentence. Adverb of frequency, that is the fourth type of adverb. It shows how often or how many times an action takes place. How many times an action takes place. That is adverb of frequency. Examples are once, twice, often, sometimes, always, never, seldom, daily, and weekly, and so on like that. Look at this sentence. It often rains in Port Harcourt. It often rains in Port Harcourt. What is the adverb of frequency there? It is often. It often rains in Port Harcourt. Now talking about the fifth type of adverb, that is adverb of degree. Adverb of degree. This shows to what extent or limit an action is done. Adverb of degree shows to what extent or limit an action is done, was done, or will be done. That action, to what extent, to what limit is it done? Or was it done? Or will it be done? That is adverb of degree. Let's look at examples of adverb of degree. We have words like quite, very, rather, only, almost, much, nearly, enough, and so on. Look at the sentence. He was very tired. That is the extent. He was very tired. What is the adverb of degree in the sentence? Very. He was very tired. We're now going to the sixth type, which is the adverb of reason or cause. Adverb of reason or cause, which tells us why an action takes or will take place. Adverb of reason or cause tells us why an action takes place or why an action will take place. Examples are therefore, so, consequently, thus, and so on. Look at the sentence. He is a quiet boy, hence he feels shy to talk. He is a quiet boy, hence he feels shy to talk. What is the adverb of reason there, or cause? That is hence. Number 7, interrogative adverb. Interrogative, what does it mean? Interrogative, the word interrogative. It means asking questions. Interrogative adverb. These adverbs are used to ask questions. They are used to do what? To ask questions. You use words like when, where, why, how, and so on. How are you? How are you? The interrogative adverb there is how. When did he leave? When did he leave? The interrogative adverb is when. Having learned the various types of adverbs, it is time for evaluation. Did you enjoy the lesson? Are you sure you were attentive at all? Then let's see how attentive you've been. Please pick out the adverbs in the following sentences. You have just 1 minute to pick out the adverbs in the sentences, and your time starts now. Eyes on me. You've been able to pick out the adverbs in the sentences. Let's see how attentive you've been in the course of the lesson. Yes, the adverbs have been identified. I have been to Abuja once. Once is the adverb there. The load seemed too heavy for the boy. Too is the adverb there. One could see that the players were very tired. Very is the adverb in the sentence. And the boy arrived 10 minutes late. Late is the adverb. Why did he go there? Why? That is the interrogative adverb. Why is the adverb there? And number 6, we shall soon leave this place. We shall soon leave this house. The adverb there is soon. That is adverb of time. Did you get the 6 correctly? Well done. I celebrate you with a cheer. Now to your homework. This is your homework. You are to pick out the adverbs in the sentences. Well done. Having copied the homework, make sure you do it. And because you know it is the only thing that guarantees your winning packs of Good Life Magic Juice. We have come to the end of today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed learning adverbs. I did too. It's time for me to hand you over to the mathematician Okwagbaje for the mathematics lesson. Remember, children, Auntie Fumi is always proud of you. Well done.
Hello, children. You're welcome to this segment of the program, The Classroom in Your Home. It is mathematics time, and that means we're going to be having some fun. I am Uncle Agbaje. Today in mathematics, we're just going to round up our work on ratio. We're going to be looking at some miscellaneous problems on how we can apply ratios in real life. But first, we'll begin, as is our usual practice, by checking the correction to the previous homework. In the last lesson, you were asked to solve this. Ade and Wale share 240 naira in the ratio 2:3. How much does Wale get? Then you were asked to do this. 2 kilograms of flour is shared in the ratio of 4:6 between Ololade and Chinyere. How much does each receive? So let's just see how that is done. Here, Ade and Wale share 240 naira in the ratio 2:3. So of course we begin by writing Ade, Wale, and their respective ratios under them 2:3. Then of course we note that the total ratio will be 5, so we'll put that underneath. Now, what this ratio simply means is that if we divide the whole of 240 naira into Ade's parts and Wale's parts, we'll get 5 parts in total. 2 parts, 3 parts, that's 5 parts. So we have to divide the whole money into 5 parts rather, and give 2 parts of it to Ade and 3 parts to Wale. So quickly, that means that Ade will get 2/5 of the whole money, because Ade is getting 2 out of 5, and the whole that we are dealing with is 240 naira. So Ade is getting 2 parts out of 5 parts, and that is 2/5 of the whole money. That's 2/5 of 240 naira, which is going to give you 96 naira. But we are not interested in what Ade is going to get. We are more interested in what Wale is going to get. And so if the whole money is divided into 5 parts, Wale will get 3 parts out of 5 parts. And that means that Wale will get 3/5 of 240 naira, because he's getting 3 parts out of 5 parts. Now, that is 3/5 times the whole money, which is 240/1. And by the time you solve this, you will get 144 naira. I'm sure that you got that right. Let's check out the next one. Number 2 says that we should share 2 kilograms of flour in the ratio 4:6 between Ololade and Chingere. And Ololade will get 4 parts, Chingere will get 6 parts. And that means that there will be a total of 10 parts. So all we have to do is divide the whole flour into 10 parts, give 4 parts to Ololade, Chingere 6 parts. And that means that Ololade is getting 4 out of 10. And that is 4/10 of the whole 2 kilograms of flour. But to make our work very, very easy, I have told you in previous lessons that when you are dealing with quantities that have units like this, it is better to take this quantity to the lower unit, so it will be easy for you to divide. And that is why we have changed 2 kilograms to 2,000 grams, because 1,000 grams is 1 kilogram. Okay, so that is 4/10 of 2,000, and of course that will give us 800 grams. Now let's talk about Chingere's share. She gets 6 parts out of the whole 10 parts, and that is 6/10 of 2,000 grams. That is 6/10 times 2,000, which of course will give us 1,200 grams. Now I'm sure that these are the answers that you got, because you're very smart, and so I'm going to celebrate you with a chair. All right, moving on to today's learning objectives. What exactly are we supposed to be able to do at the end of the lesson? We should be able to express one quantity as a fraction of another. This expectation is coming again in this lesson, and that's to tell you how important it is for you to be able to express one quantity as a fraction of another quantity, because it features a lot in the work that we'll be doing in mathematics. Then you should be able to decrease quantities according to ratios that you have been given. What does that mean? You will see. You should also be able to increase quantities in given ratios. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. Now, quantities, things that can be measured, can be increased or decreased in such a way that the initial quantity is in a specific ratio with the final quantity. I'll take that again. We can take a quantity and we can increase it in such a way that the first quantity that you have and the second quantity are in a ratio that you have been given. For example, when workers were agitating for increase in basic salary, the government offered an increase from 18,000 to 30,000, and that's actually a ratio of 2 to 3 when you break it down. So that's the fixed ratio. Now somebody who is earning 50,000, if he wants to increase his own salary based on that given ratio, how much will he get under the new salary structure? That is a typical example of how you can do ratio increase and decrease. But I will not go into that problem of salaries in our lesson today. I will use something much more simpler. For example, if we want to increase 800 grams in the ratio 4:7, we must find another mass that is in the ratio 4:7 with 800 grams. So the initial mass that we're starting with is 800 grams. Now we want to find another mass such that the other mass and 800 grams will be in the ratio 4 to 7, not more, not less. Now, since we are increasing, the new mass will be more than 800 grams. Okay, so let's just see how we're going to do that. So we say the first mass, the second mass, they have to be in the ratio 4 to 7. And that means that the bigger mass, remember we did fraction of quantities, and if you have two masses, one is in the ratio of 4 and the other one is in the ratio of 7, then that means the first one here is 4/7 of this one, and this one is 7/4 of this one. Now, since we want to find the larger mass will be here, obviously, because 7 is bigger than 4. That means the larger mass will be 7/4 of the smaller mass. The larger mass will be 7/4 of the larger mass. And the larger mass is what we're interested in. And the smaller mass that we have to start with is 800 grams. So to find that larger mass, this larger mass, which is mass B in this case, is going to be 7/4 of the first mass that we were given. And that will be 7/4 of 800 grams. I'm just going to show how this is worked out. Okay, so let me make a black pen here. Now we have 7/4 of 800 grams. Okay, so we just put over 1 to make sure that our 800 grams goes on top. Now 4 goes here 1, 4 goes here 2, here 0, here 0. And at the end of the day, we're multiplying 7 times 200, and we should get 7 times 2 is 14. Then put 2 zeros, you have 1,400 grams, which of course should be our final answer. 1,400 grams, and that means 1 kilogram 400 grams, because 1,000 grams is 1 kilogram. Are we correct with this work that we have done? Let's check. And that's the beauty of mathematics. When you work, you can always check whether you're correct or wrong. You do not need to wait for a teacher to come and tell you your work is correct. You can check by yourself. So we are saying that the initial mass is 800 grams. Now, if we are increasing it in the ratio 4 to 7, the final mass will be 1,400 grams. Let's reduce this according to the way we reduce ratios and see whether we'll get that 4 to 7. The first thing we do is that we cancel the units, gram goes, then we divide by 100, and that means that we cancel 2 zeros. We are left with 8 here, 14 here. Then we divide by 2, 2 goes here, 4, 2 goes here, 7. And of course, you see that the initial mass and that 1,400 are actually in the ratio 4 to 7 as we have been asked to do. If you want to increase a quantity by a given ratio, you have to multiply by that ratio. But the numerator will be the bigger number. I'll take that again. You want to increase a quantity by a given ratio, then you have to multiply by that ratio. But that ratio, you change it to fraction using the bigger number as the numerator because you are increasing. Okay? But if you want to decrease that quantity by a given ratio, you have to multiply by that ratio, expressed as a fraction. But since you are decreasing, you will use the smaller number as the numerator, as we have done. So now, here is one for you to practice with. You are to decrease 1 hour 15 minutes in the ratio 10 to 13. You are also to increase 2 meters 40 centimeters in the ratio 5 to 6. Don't forget that 2 meters is 200 centimeters. I'll give you 2 minutes for this question. Begin. Alrighty then. I believe that you are done by now. If you got all or if you did not get it, let's walk through it together and you will see where the errors possibly are and you will have enough time to practice during your leisure. You were asked to decrease 1 hour 5 minutes in the ratio 10 to 13. And since we are decreasing, then we have to find the smaller time, which of course will be 10 over 13 of the time you're given. And so the smaller time is 10/13 of the larger time, and that is 10 over 13 of 1 hour 5 minutes. But are we dealing with hours or are we dealing with minutes? Well, of course, it's best to change everything to 1 unit, which is the lower unit, to be able to walk through it. 1 hour is 60 minutes, 5 minutes, that's 65 minutes altogether. So you have 10 over 13 times 65. And if I bring my workboard here, quickly work that out. I have 10 all over 13 times 65 minutes over 1. Okay, so that I push that 65 up. 13 goes here 1, 13 goes here 5. Now 10 times 5 is 50 minutes, which of course should be the answer. Let's see. Okay. Of course, it is 50 minutes. Did you get that correctly? Good job, you. Let's check out the next one. This one says that we should increase the length 2 meters 40 centimeters in the ratio 5 to 6. And since we are increasing, we are looking for the larger time, which will be 6/5 of the shorter length rather. Okay, so we're looking for the longer length, and that is 6/5 of the shorter length. Now, that will be 6 over 5 times the initial length that we're given, which is 2 meters 40 centimeters. Now, remember that we cannot deal with these 2 units at the same time. We have to convert everything to the smaller unit. And that is 200 centimeters and another 40 centimeters. Everything is 240 centimeters. So we have 6/5 times 240 centimeters. Now, if I do that here, 6/5 times 240 centimeters, and I'm going to have 5 goes here 1, 5 goes in 24 4 times, remaining 4. Okay, so now 5 goes in 40 8 times. Then when we multiply 6 by 48, what do we get? 6 times 8 is 48, carry 4. 6 times 4 is 24, plus that 4, that is 28. So at the end of the day, we should have 288 centimeters. Let's just check it out. And of course, our answer is 288 centimeters, which of course can also be rewritten as 2 meters 88 centimeters. Remember that 200 meters, 200 centimeter is 2 meters. Okay, then we have extra 88 centimeters. I hope that you got that right. Good job, you. I'm going to celebrate you again with another chair. Now for your homework. In case you did not get all of this right, remember, when you are to increase a quantity in a certain ratio, change that ratio to fraction, putting the bigger number on top because you are increasing. And if you are to decrease in a certain ratio, change that ratio to fraction, putting the smaller number on top because you're decreasing. Keep that in mind as you do your assignment, which is coming up right about now. You are to increase 4 naira 80 kobo in the ratio 12 to 21. You also to decrease 112 kilometers per hour, that is speed. Decrease 112 kilometers per hour in the ratio 6 to 7. Alrighty then, we have come to the end of the mathematics segment of the program. It is time for General Studies class with Uncle Popo. As usual, give him your 100% attention. Till I come your way next time, remain wonderful mathematicians.
Hello pupils, you are welcome to General Studies class. I am Uncle Popo. Uncle Popo is here.
I am also here.
Good. We are here together.
100% attention.
Brilliant one. 100% attention is what I want you to give me in today's lesson. In our last lesson in basic science and technology, we talked about improving crop yield. We talked about the ways to improve our crop production by the use of fertilizer, manure, practice mixed cropping, and so on. Today, we want to look at another topic, and our topic for today is transportation system. Transportation system is our topic. I know some of you are wondering, transportation system in basic science and technology. Yes, there is transportation system in our body, which is also known as circulatory system. Let's look at the learning objectives. Now, the learning objectives. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to list parts of circulatory system, state the functions of the earth, differentiate between the arteries and the earth. The circulatory system, now let's look at what it entails. The circulatory system is also called the transportation system. It's also called what? The transportation system. Let's look at why it's being called transportation system. In the body of humans, there is a need to carry some materials round and remove unwanted or harmful materials so that man will be able to survive. In your body, in my body, there is need to carry some materials. We'll still look at those materials we are talking about round the body, and to also remove some unwanted materials in our body. Let's look at those materials. This is what we are talking about, the transport. You can see different routes through which materials will be passed around. We look at that in details. Some of the materials that are transported within the body are those materials transported within our body. Let's look at them. Food materials, that's for energy, growth, and repair of body tissues. That's why we eat. It has certain functions the food we eat perform in our body. So for energy, food material is transferred from one part to another for energy, growth, and repair of body tissues. Oxygen, and that is used for respiration. Next is water, salt, and hormones for body maintenance. These are the materials that are transferred from one place to another in our body. Likewise, the waste materials that are removed from our body, the carbon dioxide, urine, sweat, all these ones are waste materials. Food materials, oxygen, and water, salt, and hormones are transferred around our body system. But the waste materials that are taken away from our body are carbon dioxide, urine, and sweat. Parts of the circulatory system. Circulatory system is divided into different parts. One, the circulatory system is made up of 5 parts. How many parts? 5 parts. The heart, say that. The heart. Arteries, say that. Capillaries, say capillaries. Veins, and the blood. Let me repeat it again. The 5 parts of the circulatory system: the heart, arteries, capillaries, veins, and the blood. I have this very short song for us to recollect those 5 parts of circulatory system. Now listen, look at the words on the screen. The circulatory system, HAVCB, the circulatory system, HAVCB, the heart, arteries, veins, capillaries, blood, the circulatory system, HAVCB. The HAVCB stands for the first letter of those 5 parts of circulatory system: the heart, arteries, veins, capillaries, and the blood. Now the song again. Then we do it like this. Now you clap. The circulatory system, HAVCB, the circulatory system, HAVCB, the heart, arteries, veins, capillaries, blood, the circulatory system, HAVCB. One more time. The circulatory system, HAVCB, the circulatory system, HAVCB, the heart, arteries, veins, capillaries, blood, the circulatory system, HAVCB. Through that, you'll be able to recollect the 5 parts of circulatory system. Now, this is the we still talk about this one. This is just to show how the heart looks like, because we all have heart. The heart. This is a picture of how the heart looks. The heart, I know, touch your heart, everybody. You know where it's located in your body? The heart is the most powerful organ of the circulatory system. What's the most powerful organ of the circulatory system? The heart. It is located in the chest region. You know it. Just touch it now. See the way I'm doing? It is located in the chest region, and it is responsible for pumping blood. It's responsible for what? For pumping blood, which carries materials around the body. We have told you about the materials that are passed around the body. So the heart is responsible for that. Each pumping action of the blood is known as heartbeat. Say that. Heartbeat. Especially when you run or you do exercise, you know how your heart beats. So each pumping action of the blood, it beats faster then. When you do any exercise, your heart starts beating faster than the normal way if you didn't do any exercise. So each pumping action of the blood is known as heartbeat. It's known as what? Heartbeat. Now, the heart is divided into 4 sections. Into how many sections? 4 sections. Let's look at the sections. The 2 upper left and right atria, and the singular form, you call it atrium. There are some words we introduce to you here because it's in science class, you have to say it the way they say it. The heart is divided into 4 sections. The 2 upper left and right atria, and the singular for atria is atrium. So the 2 upper left and right. The 2 lower ventricles, that's left and right. You will see the picture of what I'm talking about. The 2 lower ventricles, that's the left and right. That's another division. So this is what I'm talking about. This is your left atrium, the right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. You can see what I'm talking about here. This is how it looks. What are the functions of the heart? Functions of the heart. 1, it is a muscular and pumping organ. You know, I've told you that it's a pumping station. It's a muscular and pumping organ. That's 1 function. A muscular is a pumping organ. 2, it pumps blood to other parts of the body. It's responsible for the pumping of blood around the other parts of the body. You should know that blood is very important in every human being or animals. So it pumps blood to other parts of the body. That's another function of heart. Next one is the pumping action keeps human being alive because the blood is being pumped around the body. That's why we are alive. Anyone that or anybody that experiences the stoppage of blood passing around the body, such a person will die. So the pumping action keeps human being alive because the blood passes around our body. That's why we are still alive. So that's another function. The pumping action keeps human being alive. And the last one, let's look at the arteries. What do we call the arteries? This is the picture of how artery looks like. I know when you, in your higher class of learning, you shall look at all this one in details. But this is how artery looks like. Don't let us go further into that. But what is the function? They are blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. That's the work of arteries. It carries blood away from where? From the heart. It's the blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. Arteries carries blood away from the heart. Now the veins. This is how it looks, and I believe every human being has veins in the body, especially when you fall sick and you want to be given injection. At times the nurses will look for your vein to pass it through that. So let's talk about veins. Veins are blood vessels that carry blood towards the heart. It carries what? Blood towards the heart. Just take note of that. Veins carry blood towards the heart. Veins carry blood towards the heart. Now let's watch this short video to explain all what I've been saying about circulatory system.
You can feel your heart thudding away every time you put your hand to your chest. But do you have any idea what's really going on in there, or what keeps your heart ticking as it should? Every day, Your heart beats about 100,000 times, sending 2,000 gallons of blood surging through your body. Although it's no bigger than your fist, your heart has the mighty job of keeping the blood flowing through 60,000 miles of blood vessels that feed your organs and tissues. Food, water and oxygen are essential for the existence of human life. Blood transports all these substances through various channels called blood vessels. Blood vessels involves arteries, veins, capillaries. To keep the blood flowing throughout our body, we have a pumping system, and the heart is the pump, which is composed of muscle that pumps blood throughout the body, beating approximately 72 times per minute of our lives. The human heart has 4 chambers: the right atrium, the left atrium, the right ventricle, and the left ventricle. Now, you have seen the structure of the heart.
Eyes on me. Uncle Popo is here. Good. I believe you enjoyed the video and you gained from it. Now, in today's lesson, I have successfully talked about circulatory system, and you were told that circulatory system is the transportation system. The 5 parts of circulatory system: the heart, arteries, capillaries, veins, and the blood. And we formed that one into a very short song. Functions of the heart: it pumps blood to other parts of the body, and it helps to keep human being alive. It's time to test you and see how you have given me your 100% attention in today's lesson. Question number 1. Name 5 parts of circulatory system. Question number 2. Mention 2 functions of the heart. Your time starts now. Eyes on me. Uncle Popo is here. Good. Let the answers: the 5 parts of circulatory system: the heart, the arteries, capillaries, veins, the blood. HAVCB. I think you still recollect that. HACVB, sorry. And the 2 functions of the heart: it pumps blood to other parts of the body. It helps to keep human being alive. We have come to the end of today's lesson. Until next time, next lesson, Uncle Popo says, keep on studying. Bye.
Dear pupils, we've come to the end of another exciting edition of the Classroom in Your Home.
It has been exciting indeed, because we have enjoyed teaching you, and we hope that you have had fun learning from us. Now, I'm sure that this is the segment that a lot of you have been waiting for.
Yes, the Reward Monday.
The reward section.
Yes.
And we are going to be giving out packs of Good Life Magic Juice. Our winners for today are, the first on the list, of course, is Ogungbenro Azima from Ansarudin Primary School in Surulere LGEA, and Oluwajobi Alleluia, African Church Primary School, Alimosho LGEA. Auntie Fumi.
We also have Adetiloye Darasimi from Maryland Primary School in Koshafe LGA, and Ojakovo Gift, Kingsfield Nursery and Primary School, Ikorodu LGA. Uncle Popo.
I have Emmanuel Oreton Ifeoluwa Nursery and Primary School, Etiosa LGA, and Adenipe B. Ademide, the Unique International School, Alimosho LGA.
You have done very well.
Very
and
well.
You all deserve our packs of Good Life Magic Juice. Now, you know, all you have to do is to send a message to our dedicated phone number, and we will tell you how to redeem your prize. But for now, and from this team, we say,
Good job, you.
Now, the link for today's online assessment is bit.ly bit.ly/LASUBEB lesson 58. Link again is bit.ly/LASUBEB lesson 58. Remember, we want to help you to improve on your performance, and so this is one way by which we measure you. Auntie Fumi.
Taking the online assessment is based on if you have access to either your daddy's, your mommy's, your uncle's, or your auntie's Android phones. If not, there's no problem. Just send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 081-5086-5663. Please do not call that line. Just send SMS or WhatsApp messages only. And when you're sending your homework, please write your name, your school, your class, and your local government. That is the only way we'll be able to identify you to give you packs of Good Life Magic Juice. Uncle Popo, what do you think?
Yeah, all the lessons taught today are on LASUBEB YouTube channel. Likewise, the previous ones taught. You are to subscribe to LASUBEB YouTube channel to get notification when new videos are uploaded. The classroom in your home could be watched live on Facebook through the page showing on the screen.
Till our next lesson, we shall meet again for another wonderful edition of the classroom in your home. Make sure you do your homework.
Wash your hands regularly.
Stay at home and
stay safe. LASUBEB,
leave no child behind.
Dear pupils, parents and guardians, let me start by thanking you for being a part of all our remote learning platforms, particularly our television program, The Classroom in Your Home. Each feedback has been awesome. Good job, you. Our teachers have been working assiduously to break the learning laws during this critical period. Therefore, I am pleased to inform you that the Classroom in Your Home has been extended to accommodate the lower primary classes and a dedicated lesson to cater for our special needs pupils in line with our mandate of providing an all-inclusive and quality basic education in our dear state. This program is fully sponsored by the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, and supported by the Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board under the COVID-19 Blended Learning Intervention Initiative. Please encourage your wards to tune in and take every advantage of this laudable program. Also remember, this pandemic is not over. Let us continue to abide by all health and safety guidelines as stipulated by the government. At LASUBEB, we are determined to leave no child behind in our quest to improve the standard of basic education in our state. Thank you.